My name is Vaibhav Adlakha, and I'm a resident of Stratford since 2018. And I came across Stratford East actually the first time in one of these open days in 2019. And I attended the open day, and I really enjoyed myself. So I've been coming to a lot of open days and workshops ever since. So I'm one of the most probably regular members whenever it comes to one of these open days or any workshops that Stratford East has. I attended the open day, and I think I attended the workshop, if I remember correctly. It was how to do directors, a Q&A with a director, one of the Stratford East directors. But soon after that, I saw a advertisement on the Facebook page for Slambition. When I read about that, I was deeply impacted because I'm a passionate believer about disability representation in theater, because for me, theater is a message, is a way to communicate not only with the community, but if you want any change to happen, theater and media is one of the best ways to do it. So Slambition gave a chance for people with disabilities to audition, do a monologue competition. I believe it was a monologue competition, and we were supposed to send in a monologue, and then they got to work. I didn't get to, because I didn't get to the next stage, unfortunately. But they got to work with someone in Stratford East for about, I think it was 10 days. And then they performed on the Stratford East stage. So that was really impactful to me, and got me back into my love for theater in a way, because I have done theater experience in high school when I did the International Baccalaureate. So, and I like writing myself. So I got the passion to write again because of Slambition, and I hope we do many more things like this, because I see Stratford East as a conduit for change, conduit to connect to the community, conduit to not only change people in theater, get more representation, but if you've, for example, see the monologue play in which Jodie Comer participated, I've seen that, and that brought about changes in the law, changes in community itself. So that's a perfect example. I think it's called prima facie, but that's a perfect example of how a theatrical piece can go beyond just the theatrical community and can have a bigger, more wider impact in terms of bringing the change you want to see in the world, not only for representation in theater, but in society as well. I'd love to. I don't think I have yet, because I work full time, so it's a bit more difficult. But I'd love to come and see some of the shows and participate in more opportunities where I can fulfill my passion for being part of a theatrical community and being part of theater as well. My parents are quite keen to see the Indian shows that you've brought, so I'm hoping to maybe come and see that at some point, but not as of yet. I would hope to do that very soon, though. I'd say it's connecting with society in more ways than one. Because I know you do pantomimes for kids, and so that's a way of getting younger audiences into the theater world. Maybe you'd have future directors, future actresses, actors who will perform later within Stratford is when they get older, because these kind of experiences is what brings about passion, which potentially can go into career. So you have those kind of connecting to the community. As I said, the message for change, something that's much more hard hitting, but that's the other aspect of connecting with the community. About, you watch this, what is the impact that's had on you? What are you going to do after this? It's just not watching the play for entertainment. It's watching the play for as I said, the change you want. I really like this issue. I want to do something more about it. So that's also the type of work I've seen Stratford East produce, and a lot of the fun elements of it as well. You have your open days, have stage fighting, which a lot of people like here. So you might get the other aspects of theater as well, not only acting, but stage lighting, other aspects that involves the backstage aspects, things about building sets and building costumes and all of that aspect as well. That is also part of what makes theater a community and brings different genres of people into the theatrical world, I'd say. I would definitely like to see more targeted activities for people with disabilities or people with different characteristics. Bring more multicultural theater in here, which would be quite useful. I read somewhere that Edler Wells is doing something with disability in dance, which is quite interesting. So something similar with disability in theater, or having workshops that target people who have disabilities, because if people like me don't think the theater when I was choosing my profession, I like theater and I like law, and one of the reasons I didn't choose to go into theater was because I didn't see people like me in the theatrical world. That was about 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So to be on the safe side, I went to the legal profession. But I'd like to see where it's having someone with a disability on stage, or any aspect of any aspect within the theatrical world is not something unique. It becomes normal. I'd like to see more of that. And one thing I forgot to say, the other thing I like is some of the talks. I haven't attended them yet, but every time I think I want to attend that one, the time doesn't suit. But one of the talks I really liked is politics in theater, when you had a kind of fireside chat almost. So that was quite interesting. I would have liked to attend that, because that's some of the things I write about. And so also I'd like to have see budding things for these workshops to become more of a regular thing rather than only for open days. And also maybe you want to work on budding scriptwriters or budding playwriters that, and you may want to put on some of their writings. A lot of the other theaters, they say, invite scripts to put on, and you have I don't know what, one of the theaters has one of a prize where they put on new writers' plays. So that kind of mentorship would also be useful to see within Stratford East. In terms of work, I think you're doing a great job in terms of productions, but I just think these kind of things would also take Stratford East to the next level. And I hope in one of the theater awards I saw that there was a disabled category, most influential disabled category. in the same Stratford East Awards that were the in the same awards where Stratford East was nominated for something else, and I hope someday I see an artist from Stratford East nominated in that category in any shape or form, because I think the impact is going to be beyond just the certain profession. It's going to be, I think, global in a way. It's still in the works in a way, because my editor is sitting right there, my author. She edits my stuff, so I'm trying to get her to edit it. I was always interested in writing, so, and acting as well. Because I did IB theater. I don't know whether you're aware of the International Baccalaureate exams and that degree. So I did IB theater, and as part of that, my individual project was trying to write a play. So it's called Masquerade. The theme of that play is basically, when does real life become theater, and when does theater become real life? What is the blend of the two? And I was always interested in masks and invisible theater, but the type of masks I was interested in were the psychological masks. So to what extent do we actually let society see who we truly are and what we think? What aspect of our personality do we adapt so that we can present a certain way in society? And to what extent is that our actual true self? So that's the theme I'm trying to get to write. Hopefully one day I'll finish it. I write my own poetry about different things. I have a blog that I keep updated at times. So stuff like thoughts of a mind. How the one I'm currently writing where you're talking about how you're practicing your smile, because it's like it has to be perfectly right, because people should not be able to see what's actually going inside. So it has to be perfectly right in a way so that you put on this personality before you go out. I went to see Hello Dolly recently. I think that's the first musical that I saw in a long time. And it's not great, but the wheelchair seat was at the side. So for me, I couldn't see the actors until they came to the center, because everything happening on the side I couldn't actually see. I think the way I would convince others is I find that, at least attending the open days, and Angela helped me out the other time, where things were adaptable. You didn't say, okay, he has a disability, how is he going to attend this? This is the part he can't do, or this is not accessible to him. You guys found ways to make it accessible. So I remember Angela, I couldn't go on top when we were doing the theater tour, and she brought down photographs so I could actually see what was happening on top. And it's not something I asked for. So I think if we focus on, we don't care whether you're a disabled person, we don't care, but we want this theater to be part of everyone's journey. I think that's the way I would convince that I like coming here, because I'm able to showcase my ability, learn from other people, and learn different aspects of things, and bring back memories of what I used to do. Why I liked theater, why I liked doing invisible theater, or the workshops that we've done on other aspects of, the mind went blank, but improvisation, one of my favorite things to do. That's why I liked the workshop we did last time. improv games. And well, and before I did theater in high school, I never thought theater was for a disabled person like me because I can't go on the ground or use my body in a way that actors do. But if we focus on, we don't care about that. We want you to love theater. We want you to experience theater, not only watching in it, but as a participant. I think that is what is unique because everybody has wheelchair access in some way, shape, or form. But if the attitude can change, if the mental access changes, about how do we get more people not only to watch theater who have disabilities, but also participate in our workshops. So a perfect example was when we did Spring Awakening in high school, and I played Melchior, right? And there's a scene with Wendla, and there's a rape scene in there, and I'm a wheelchair person. How am I going to do all of that? So the director, who was another student, she adapted in a way. She used sound, wind. She used 2 extra people on either side of me who represented my conscience. So while I was reciting the monologues, they were doing the physical action as to what I would have been doing if I was able-bodied. So how do you adapt those rules? How do you adapt your workshops, anything that you do, so that people with disabilities or people who don't normally this is not for me kind of go, maybe this is for me. Maybe I can give it a shot too. So I think that's what I would aim towards.